Hello, we're live. I can't believe it. Hello, everybody. Gosh, I just see you guys pouring in. We have a huge group today, so I'm not even going to try to catch up with all the chats, but hello, welcome. I have a good 60 minutes planned for us, talking all about the art of six figures, how I built a six-figure business, my very first year in business, and how I want to share with you that you can do that too. Hello, I see so many people pouring in. My friend Marie Anna from Team Skidmore is going to be in the chat box. She's having a little bit of internet stuff. If this is your first webinar rodeo, you know that we are relying on technology to work well for us. So if you're having any trouble with your technology, if you can't hear, if you can't see, if it's slow, sometimes the best thing is to log out and log back in. So hello, we have a huge group today. It's going to be very full. So I'm going to do my best to interact with you guys in the chat. We have some friends joining us from the Blueprint community that are also going to say hello. So hi, we have 60 minutes of goodness. I have 107 slides. So I am just going to go ahead and dive right in. Welcome. And I just realized, sadly, that my PowerPoint is not going to cooperate. So we're just going to do this the best we can with our slides, and I'll explain the jumbled slides. So I see Tennessee, Georgia, Mexico, Canada, Kenya, wow, San Francisco, Oklahoma. Oh my goodness, y'all. Hello. I am in Minnesota, but a Tennessean at heart. So you're going to get some of that Tennessee accent in there. So the art of six figures, how I built a six-figure business with less than 5,000 Instagram followers. If you have, if this is your first time doing a webinar with me, will you just give me a yes? If you're kind of brand new to Shanna Skidmore, just give me a yes in there. In the chat box, I would love to see all the newcomers. If you are already a student of one of my courses or classes, say yes. Okay, lots of yeses. Yes. It sounds like everybody can hear me and see me okay. Lots of yeses. So new to Shanna. Okay, great. I'll do an introduction, and we're going to go really as fast as we can today. As I mentioned, I'm from Tennessee, so I talk a little bit slow. Okay, but first things first. If this is your first webinar, give me a yes. If not, just say I've done them before or not a newbie. I just want to say 60 minutes is really sacred in the world of small business. So I'm just going to start first and foremost with this webinar is not going to be great for you okay? So just listen up. Here's some things. This webinar is not for you if you already have a 6+ figure business, and you're just really trying to scale and sell off your business to the highest bidder. God, drinking the Shanna Kool-Aid, yes. So if you're like, hey, I'm already doing great, I'm scaling, I have a team, then this might be not the webinar for you, because we're going to talk about getting that first 6 figures of income and or understanding your numbers so that you can scale and grow. So if you're like, I'm already there, then hey, stick around, but just so you know, that's full disclosure. Second, if you're here and you are, there's no prerequisite for having a business, but if you have a business and you just want it to be a hobby, like you're not interested in digging in deep, doing the hard work, understanding your numbers, then you might not love this webinar, because as I mentioned, I have 107 slides and we are going to get to some meat here. So just so you know, I am totally an advocate of letting a hobby be a hobby. But today we're going to dig in and your eyes might boggle from all the number talk. So number 3 is if you are 100% confident in the way that you're spending your money, you never worry about the long-term sustainability of your business, and you pretty much are just rocking and rolling with a profitable business, then we're going to talk about those things today, and it sounds like you might not need all that. So I'm seeing Vanessa, yes, not 100% confident. So if you're like, Shanna, those things don't apply to me, then you are in the right place, because we're going to talk all about how to build a 6-figure business in the next 12 months of profit. I'm going to give you some steps to do that. So for all of the rest of us, if you're like, yes, I want to hear about that, I'm not confident in my numbers, I need this information, just give me a yes in the chat box and you'll know you're in the right place. We have 60 minutes together. I'm going to talk as fast as I can, 107 slides. Chantal, need this so much. Lisa, I need you and this. Lots of yeses. Good. So let's just dive right into the meat. Lots of yeses coming in. And I'm just going to ask you a question. How is business really going? How is business really going? Like for real. How are you feeling? And I'm going to give you a way to gauge that. So some of you, if you've been on a webinar with me before, you've seen this, but let's just ask ourselves, what does your business look like behind the highlight reel? Behind the highlight reel. So give me a number here. 1, you're barely above water. Or 10, you are loving it and killing it. So I see a lot of stressful, slow, speaking to an empty room, not at all. 1s, 3s, 1. See a 5 from Sarah, great. Meg is at a 1. Okay, just keep that in your head. I saw an overwhelmed, literally just started. Great, so this is for people who are wanting to start side hustling or getting and wanting to still make that 6 figures of profit. You're in the right place. Lots of 2s, a couple 5s, I saw 7. It's awesome. Overwhelmed from Rosemary. Okay, so keep that number in your head because we're going to come back to it in about 45 minutes. Give me a yes or no here with these questions. Are you confident that you can sustain your current workload for the long haul? Give me a yes or a no in that chat box. Are you confident you can sustain your current workload for the long haul? No, I saw a lot of overwhelms already. Allison said yes, great. Seeing nopes. Another yes from Tamara. A couple of yeses, great. Some yes. Okay, so we have a good balance here of people who are yes, we can sustain, no, we can't. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today for all you knows. Second, are you confident you're building a business model that is sustainable 5, 10, 15 years from now? Are you building a model that's going to be profitable for you and really grow into a business that you want for the long term? Again, some yeses, some no, return on investment's low, lots of no's on this one. No, 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 not yet. I love that. No with a frowny face. Okay, again, that's what we're talking about today. Stick around. Are you confident, this is a big one, you are spending your money the way you should be or want to be in your business or in your personal finances? Yes or no? Are you confident you're spending your money in the way you want to be? So Betsy said not yet, not sure, no, no. Yes from Beverly, lots of notes, a big no with exclamation points. Okay, so guys, if you answered to no to any of those 3 questions, this is the webinar for you. I'm going to give you 60 minutes of my best content. This is all brand new, 107 slides, y'all. It barely fit on the webinar presentation. I was sweating bullets over here before we got started. My goal is to give you the tools today that you are able to make $100,000 in profit in the next 12 months. That is my goal, so stick around. At the end, I have 2 special bonuses for people who stay all the way to the end, one of which is my strategic growth blueprint. If you don't already have this, it's a 30-page guide with step-by-step checklists on starting and growing your business. And so $100,000 of profit in the next 12 months. If that sounds good to you, will you give me a yes in that chat box? Or I don't think we can do emojis here, but I'm like double high-fiving over here. Does that sound good? Jennifer said, amazing. Elise said, LOL. Love that. Yes, yes, yes. They're all coming in now. Yes. Okay, let's do this. So Blueprint to 6 Figures, the 5 Ps. This is all brand new. Let's see, a hell yes, an amazing, a yes, yes, please. That would be a dream. I'm telling you guys, here it is. The 5 Ps to 6 figures: purpose, product, profit, process, and a plan. If you have a screenshot now, go ahead and screenshot this slide. These are the 5 things we're going to talk about, and we're already 10 minutes in. Whew, I gotta hurry. But first, because they had so many yeses before, let me just quickly tell you my story. My name is Shanna Skidmore. I'm a former Fortune 100 financial advisor. I've worked in finance for 13 years. I started in personal finance. Then I went into corporate finance with a startup company. It was a fashion designer out of Atlanta, Georgia. I always say I was hired by like their private equity firm, which is like Shark Tank, which is really cool. And then in 2013, I went out on my own to start my own consulting company, which officially started in 2014. It's been a crazy ride, learning that I'm both creative and my friend Ashlyn says I'm as great with comfortable with paintbrushes as I am with spreadsheets, and I love that so much. And I just saw that more and more women are wanting to have non-traditional work environments, and I see a lot of guys on here too. Guys are wanting that too. A lot of moms are needing a way to make money for their family while still raising their babies, and not many finance professionals are going in and digging into that meat within. And so I just love being a resource kind of to bridge the gap of finance and making it accessible and not so intimidating. And I just love what I get to do. I've done this now for 13 years. I've had my company for 6 years officially and 1 year unofficially, which I'll talk about a little bit more. That all sounds great, right? But let me tell you where I was in 2013 when I quit my job. This is the reel behind the highlight reel. Remember that question? I was about on a 3, I would say. My relationship with my husband, Kyle, was great, but we were literally drowning in debt. We had come from 2 very successful careers in finance, and we believed that if you could afford the payment, you could afford it, something I no longer subscribe to. So when 2 people want to go out and pursue their entrepreneur dreams, debt can be the chains that bind us. So this is where I started my company, y'all. Quit my safe job and was like, okay, we'll just figure it out. $50,000 in debt. I was the sole provider for our family because Kyle was in school at the time. And that's why I just want to say what a difference a year can make. My very first year in business, and I'm going to share all this with you, the first 12 months, I made $106,000 of profit. So not just sales. I booked my very first client, Tasia Trene. If you guys don't know her, she owns Firefly Events. She's a wedding and event planner based out of New York and California. She charges $100,000 per event. She's a pretty, luxury event planner and just very first client. And I had a Squarespace website and a logo that my friend Meredith made for me. I had less than 500 Instagram followers, and that year I got to still speak at 3 events. Haiti said, yes, love Firefly. I show you these stats because I was in a very low place. I did not know anything about Instagram. I did not know anything about SEO or technology. You can make $100,000 with the basics. And that's why I called this How to Make 6 Figures with Less Than 5,000 Instagram followers, because I don't think you need all those bells and all those whistles. So 1 year and a great blueprint can change everything. And it didn't take 10,000 Instagram followers or that coveted K behind your name or the swipe up options. It really came down to these 5 P's that I'm going to share with you today. Purpose, product, profit, process, and plan. Michael, great job. So let's dig into purpose. I love Bob Goff's statement. You don't need a mission statement. You just need to know what you want. So let me ask you a question. When was the last time, if you're a blueprint student, I know you do this all the time, when was the last time you said, what does success mean to me? What does success mean to me? When I worked in finance, I had a mentor tell me that if you don't want to make more money, you're just fooling yourself and making excuses for not working harder. I lived under that for a very long time, and I really believed that making more money and walking across stage would somehow make me feel more important. And over the last couple of years, I've realized that success for me looks different, and I've found that it looks a lot different for you guys too. I bet one of the first words that came into your mind, and I'm seeing it already, is the word freedom. Freedom is what success means. But here's something really cool. Freedom means different things to different people. So Cynthia said financial freedom. Kelly said comfortable lifestyle and have freedom with my time. So what does freedom, what does success mean to you? Well, a few years ago, I started studying the patterns of all the people that I was working with. I've now worked with thousands. And if you're a blueprint student, you've already seen what I call the 4 core motivators. So it's a way of defining success based on what freedom looks like for you. So the 4 core motivators are time, challenge, impact, and creative expression. So Vanessa said financial margin. Hey, Ashlyn. Michael said success to me is making enough to allow my wife to quit her job. I love that. That's success for my husband as well. Brittany said time and financial freedom. Elise, social media freedom. Love all this so much. So time, challenge, impact, and creative expression. Now you might be thinking, Shanna, I thought we were going to talk about money today. Why are we talking about this core motivators and defining success? Well, here's why. I want to show you why this is the most important step you can do in your business. So ears up, if you're tuning in and you're like, hey, I'm going to get the most out of this. This is the very first point, and it's the most important. This is the first step every single person should do in your business. So if you leave this class today and all you take away is that you need to write down what success specifically means to you, then I would consider this a win. And here's why. I wanted to put together what success looks like to you really defines the blueprint and the business model that you're creating. So what I did is I took 4 photographers. Some of them are industry experts. Not all of them are my clients. Some of them I've spoken at events with. A couple of them I've worked with. But I wanted to show you what it looks like as a photographer to build a business model based on their definition of success and why this is so important. So keep those 4 in mind: time, challenge, impact, and creative expression. I'm going to show you 4 photographers who are all building photography businesses, but they have completely different business models because they seem to live out these core motivators differently. Are you guys ready? So the first one is my friend Katie Bryant. So Katie is a wedding photographer. She takes on 20 clients a year at $5,500 average per client, $110,000 in revenue. She works from home, keeping her overhead low, and her husband second shoots with her. This business model allows maximum time with her family. Katie's core motivator looks like time. Now, some of these, I don't know their stories, and I'm just putting them into what I know about them to give an example of how these core motivators live out differently in her business model. So see how Katie's built a business model that allows her to have more time. That's Katie's story. Time is her motivator to have more time with her family. That's what freedom looks like to her. Whereas kind of opposite, Caitlin is not a client of mine, but what I see, if you know Caitlin James, she's a big photographer and she educates a lot of photographers. She looks like a business model that's built on challenge. So she started with portrait photography, added on weddings, then she started offering albums and products, and now she's moving to education for photography. She's building a big tier of diversified income offerings because she loves the challenge. Now, do you see how Katie's core motivator and Caitlin's core motivator live out their business models so much differently? Does that make sense? Why this becomes so important? If Katie doesn't define that time is her motivator, she could be building a business like Caitlin, and where Caitlin is thriving, Katie could be really just barely surviving because it doesn't mesh with her definition of success. Now, the third one is creative expression, and this is Abby Grace Photography came up in my brain for this one immediately because Abby Grace pays the bills with wedding and portrait photography, but she can't live without those personal passion projects, her ballet shoots, and she's so amazing at it. And of course, she shoots film, which I would think would be very characteristic of someone where creative expression is their core motivator. So they really are about the art of it. Now, again, it's so important that Abby Grace know that creative expression is her core motivator because she will say to you she needs those ballet shoots to keep her motivated and loving her business. Now think again, if she didn't know that, what if she didn't put that personal project in there? She could be really unhappy in her business and thinking about quitting her photography, but it's really just because she never defined success. I hope that's helping you understand why this is so important to be the very first step I want any of you to take, if you have not already, is what is success, and get really important. Get really clear on that. The fourth one is impact. So KT Mary is a renowned destination photographer who uses her platform to speak openly about causes she cares deeply about. And it's really cool because her print shop even donates a portion of proceeds to such causes. Now Katie Mary has never gone through my core motivators assessment, but I just see through her actions, this is what she values. And so she's implemented into her business. How cool is it that when we know our definition of success, we can build a business model that really works within that. So you see now how writing out what matters to you and defining success is the very first step you need to take in creating that six-figure business. I love, again, Bob Goff, you don't need a mission statement. You just need to know what you want. So step number one, what is the purpose of your business? Why are you doing it? And why does it align with what freedom looks like for you? For Kyle and I, it was really important while Kyle was in school. We've moved 8 times in the last 4 or 5 years, and it was really important. I built a business that could work wherever I lived. And so that's why I do all my stuff online, and it's really great. So I love some people are popping in here, definitely impact. And I saw a great question, can your more core motivator change? I believe sometimes that we need certain things over others. Like we might be in a season where we need more money because of a certain goal we have. We might be in a season where we need more time because we have young kids. So I believe sometimes seasons dictate what becomes a priority, but I always say, what are you not willing to give up? And I know for me, whenever I get time is my motivator, whenever I get a lot of not very much time, I start feeling really, really anxious. So I believe we have one that will always be true, but in seasons, some might need a little more. So let's keep moving because again, we got a lot to get through. So number 2 is defining your product. So I would say you can do anything, but not everything. The second step I want you to take is what do I do and what do you not do? You'll notice here I left 3 lines. Now, some of this might seem really simple, but I'm telling you guys, it's simple. It's not easy, but it's what matters. You know, I get a lot of questions about like, there's so many things going on and pulling for our attention. What will really move the needle forward in my business? And I promise you, if you implement these 5 steps, that you can see $100,000 in profit in the next 12 months. So what do you do? And what do you not do? I need you to have 3 or less services that you're providing to your audience right now. So for me, mine started with hourly coaching day sessions, and then I had big consulting clients that I worked with on a 6-month basis. So those are the first 3 offers that I had. Now this can be really, really challenging to do, but it's really important when you start. Now I know the very next thing that you're gonna say is, Shanna, I have so many things that I'm interested in. How do I boil it down to just 3? And I want to give you a quick example here. So did you know that the average grocery store carries over 42,000 items? 42,000 items. Can we say decision fatigue? Whereas Aldi is the most profitable grocery store chain, and it only carries around 1,350 items per store. So let's go back and contrast that. 42,000 items at the average grocery store, but yet Aldi is the most profitable. And why? It's because they've limited the decision fatigue. I watched a really cool TED Talk on this, and it was about decision fatigue. It was the idea that grocery stores and people with more offers have a lot more visitors, but they have less buyers because of decision fatigue. So it's really, really important when you're starting out, again, now, after you make that first 6 figures, I absolutely want you to start diversifying your income. But first, build that brand awareness and make a name for yourself in one particular way. 42,000, yes. Isn't that crazy? But Shanna, I'm multi-passionate. This is what the biggest thing that I hear. This is the slide. Sorry, so sad. PowerPoint isn't working. I'm multi-passionate too. If you could have seen these slides come in, it would be, I have my husband, my dog. I love what I do as my job with the Blueprint community. I've been recently doing a lot of graphics work for all of our launches and everything. It's been so fun. I'm taking an art class. We're renovating our house. I love interior design. I'm multi-passionate too. But I know this is what I get paid to do, is this one service. Now, I don't know how many of you guys, oh, it's working? Yeah, I don't know. Well, hopefully we're on the same slide here. It's always hard to tell, but this is the one thing I get paid to do is consulting. And I always think about Chip and Joanna Gaines, who have Magnolia Homes. So I know now that we see them from Fixer Upper in the show, but it's really cool because they have done construction work and remodeling for years and years and years. And it's just now recently, because of the show, that now they have Magnolia Market and all these other, they have the Magnolia Magazine, which I'm pretty sure is laying right back there. Give yourself the opportunity to make a name for yourself in one area before you start diversifying. And again, remember, we're talking to people who are wanting to make that first 100,000. So I'm telling you, if you're not booking, it might be because your audience is having decision fatigue. They're not sure what to purchase from you. And so instead of offering more, sometimes we just have to offer less. And I say, which doctors get paid more, the generalist or the specialist? We all know the answer to that. Number 3, profit. Your numbers will tell you a story. You just need to know how to listen. Okay, so guys, we're going to dig into some deep numbers here. If you're with me still, give me a yes. I'm actually going to share with you some things I've never shared before. So all my blueprint model people, ears up, you're going to love this. I'm going to tell you how I actually translate the numbers in my business. I'm going to show you my profit and loss statement and tell you exactly what I look at and why. I hope this tells you some strategy behind your numbers. Now, if you become one of my students and work with us, you will know I don't believe that you need to be an accountant or a bookkeeper or even someone who loves money. But I do believe that you need to be equipped and empowered as the CEO of your business to understand what your money is telling you. I had a friend of mine, Rachel, say to me the other day, Shanna, I would give myself about a C+ when it comes to my understanding my money. And then she was like, maybe a B-. And I was like, why is that? And she said, it's because she has all the data. She's probably doing her bookkeeping. She knows those numbers, but she doesn't know how to translate them. And that's what spurred on this slide here. So profit, profit, profit. I want you to say that to yourself. Write it in the comments right now. Profit is what matters. I think so often I get asked about pricing. Everybody believes it's a pricing problem, but what we as the CEO need to focus on is profit. Profit is your price minus your costs equal your profit. I call it the leftover. Profit is what matters, Lisa. You're so right. Yes, Brittany, profit, profit. So I just want to kind of retrain your thinking right now to think profit. It's like leftover at the end of the day. Did you guys, I don't know if you guys did this, did you balance your checkbook when you were in elementary school? We were taught how to write checks and balance checkbooks, which I don't think they do anymore. It's thinking about like balancing your checkbook. We can't overdraw anymore. So we need to create profitable pricing, which has to do with both the right price and not too much cost. That's what I'm going to share with you. Margin is everything. Rory, you're so right. Profit. Marcus Lemonis, he has The Profit. I love that TV show. It's so fun. It's kind of what I do for my job, basically. He says, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. And everybody on this class just like cringed a little bit. Sorry to tell you that, but I'm telling you, knowing your numbers, and I bet there's some Blueprint alum on here that'll definitely tell you, yes, 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 can be so simple. You just need to be shown what to look at. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that right now. So this is my actual profit and loss statement for my first full year in business, 2014, when I'm telling you I made $106,000 in profit. So I did total income was $128,000. You can see it here. And this is just revenue. So revenue is total sales. Now, what I look at when it comes to revenue, I want to see sources of income. So what are all the ways that I'm getting paid? Second is how much I'm getting in revenue consistent with how much time I'm spending on that. So this was really eye-opening for my client and friend, Ash Bush. She's one of my students. If you haven't read her student success story, it's amazing. She was running a online shop and a custom calligraphy business, and she thought the calligraphy business was the one that was bringing in the most money because it had much bigger per sale purchases. But when she looked at everything, she was spending so much time on her custom work that she didn't have time to commit into her shop. She went through the blueprint model, cut out custom work, and in 1 month flat went from $2,000 to $20,000 in revenue by putting her attention on the right things. So it's really, that's something I look at. Is the amount of revenue consistent with the time commitment? And I say, what's working well? What isn't working well? So something I learned from this year, you'll see that I had revenue from workshop income. And I knew first and foremost, for us in the way that we structure it, workshop income isn't that profitable because I really like nice flowers. I really like La Tavola linens. And I just knew if I want to keep doing workshops, I either have to change the model or I have to be okay that it's not going to be a profit generator for me. Now, hear me say, I believe everything you should sell should create profit. You should never lose money unless you're doing something for an advertising purposes or you've chosen to do that. So workshops never lose money for me, but sometimes depending on what I choose, they break even. So those are the questions I ask myself when I talk about revenue. Is that helpful to understand, get in Shanna's brain? What would Shanna do? These are the questions I say every time I look at where I sold money within the year, sources of revenue, and is it consistent? Am I putting my time in the most effective places? Is that helpful? Give me a yes. Yes, Jessica. Yes, Michelle. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Incredibly helpful. Good, Kelly. Thank you. Okay, so the second thing on your profit and loss statement, sorry for all the numbers. Are you guys like getting cross-eyed yet? Is cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold is just what I like to call job costs. So job cost is the amount of money needed to produce your goods or service. So you'll see here, I've just screenshotted the service portion. I did not screenshot the portion for my workshops. So I had very low expenses, cost of goods sold, because I was 100% online and service-based. So meals, a couple meals, some gifts for clients, very low. So to get that cost of goods, what this tells us is our total sales minus our costs equal gross profit. This is important for these reasons. At least these numbers are so helpful. I hate numbers. Good. Okay, so these are the questions I ask myself when it comes to cost of goods sold. And if you don't feel like you're making enough money, you're worried that you're priced too low, then this is the slide I need you to ears up, really listen to. I want to see how much is it costing me to produce my goods. So I had that $1,563 of cost of goods sold, which is extremely low. Remember, this is my very first full year in business. And my total sales minus my workshop sales was $95,000. So that meant, do a little math problem there, 16% cost of goods sold. That is incredibly good. If you're service-based, I want you to be right there. So every dollar you sell, you should be at 15% or less of cost of goods sold. That's for service-based individuals who don't have that extra material cost or even sometimes that extra outsourced labor cost. So that gives you a good rule of thumb to have in that cost of goods sold. Now, if you jump into the blueprint model, we're going to talk about that later. We go through all this in detail. I think we have some blueprint alum on here that can tell you, because I know there's going to be a lot of questions about how this works for this business or that business. So digital photography is a great service-based, will look very similar to this, whereas a film-based photographer is going to be closer to that 40% I recommend for product-based. So same with floral designers. If you're producing anything that has a material cost like flowers, you're going to be closer to that 40%. So that means for every $100 that you sell, you're going to spend around $40 to produce that good. So that leaves you with $60 for everything else. That's how that breaks down. Now, if you are not hitting those margins and those ratios, then that is where we start looking at, is your price too low? Or is your cost too high? These are all the questions that I ask myself. When I met Amy Asaba, renowned floral designer, love her so much, she was at 82% cost. And any floral designers can resonate with this. She was like, I just sacrificed profit for the sake of the design. She would just go out and buy more flowers because she wanted it to look beautiful. And while that feels fun and good for a couple of years and built her a great brand, there's going to come a time when you realize this is not sustainable, and that's where Shanna comes in, and we've got to redo your pricing. And now listen, the answer is not always raising price. Oftentimes it's decreasing cost, because remember what matters: profit, 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 profit. So I don't care how we get there, I just want to get to that profit number. Now, gross profit, again, is our revenue minus our cost of goods sold. That's that kind of gross profit. I know we're getting technical here, but I like to see that again at 85% for service-based and 60% for anybody who's product-based. That just helps give you an idea. If you sell $1 and you're not making 60 cents, something is wrong. So is that helpful, guys? We're going to keep digging into these numbers. I'm going to go as fast as I can. I know it's big, but it's great because then you can do this with me step by step if you want through the blueprint model. Custom cakes burn out so fast. Yes, because your costs probably need to go up and your time somehow needs to go down. Now that is a delicate balance. That's what we have to figure out. But I'm telling you, you can figure this out. Amy Asaba, 82% cost the year that I met her, brought her down to 40% within 1 year, and really doubled her profit. It was crazy awesome. Okay, so These numbers tell me everything about my price. Bert Rutan is an aerospace engineer that my husband loves, and we were at an air show a couple weeks ago, and he said, never sell anything unless you know what it costs. And I know that can hit us in the face as business owners and be like, well, that's not an option, right? So please, 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 if you don't know what it costs in time, materials, and labor to produce your goods or your services, start now. Start now. You can start with a sheet of paper and track 3 projects from start to finish. I'm telling you guys, this is what's going to keep you in business longer. Keep you in business longer is understanding profit. And I'm telling you guys, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get on my soapbox. We are looking at all the wrong things. I've never focused on my Instagram following. I've never focused on my email list. I've never focused on SEO. I didn't even know what that meant until my 5th year in business. Guys, I've done all the things wrong, but yet my business has grown in revenue every single year, and I'll show you more about that. Madeline, great question. What tools do you recommend to track these? I use QuickBooks Online for my bookkeeping software, and then I use all of the financial toolkit tracking documents I want to share, but I created them and I use them in Google Drive. So you can get them, if you're in the Blueprint model, you get access to all those things, but I do everything in Google Drive except for QuickBooks Online. But you can use any QuickBooks software or any bookkeeping software. It's just a matter of preference. All you need to see are what you sold, broken down by product if you can, cost of goods sold. So most softwares do that, and my big requirement is that it automatically pulls in from your bank accounts. If you're manually entering, it's not going to work. Okay, so now we're going to general administrative, also known as overhead. I saw a question about this. I recommend that overhead is 30% of your total sales or less. So again, remember how we said you sell $100. 40 of those dollars go to produce your good. That leaves you with 60. Now what do we do with the 60? Those $60 then get divided in half. $30 for overhead, $30 for Shanna. So isn't it crazy that out of $100, I only make 30 and then I get taxed on that 30. So when we start thinking about, wow, I need to make 100,000, we have to back into these numbers really well. That gets big really fast, right? So these are some total expenses. I recommend that staying under 30%. Now, if you have no staff, if you work from home and you're still at 30%, maybe start looking at where all your money is going. Now, if you're investing in software, if you're investing in infrastructure, then it might be higher. But one day you're going to want to hire staff, and one day you're going to want to have a space to work maybe outside of your home. I work in my home and I love it. But maybe you want that, and if you're already at 30%, something's going to have to give. Kelly, great question for influencers. Let me come back to that. If Marianna's hearing this, mark that as a question for me if you can. Look, I did it. I would love to answer that at the end. Okay, great. Stay on. We're going to do a Q&A at the end, so I'm trying to talk fast. Last but not least is net income. So this is our net income is profit. It's our leftover number at the bottom, the number that matters. So this was my first year. I guess I made 108,788, not 106. This number, I recommend being at least 30% of your total revenue. Why? Because this is the amount that you get paid on as the business owner and the IRS is going to tax you on. So this is really important. I recommend this be 30% at least or more. Now listen, I don't pay myself out of my overhead. I pay it out of profit as an owner's draw. So let's not get into the minutia of that. But what I want you to know is if you're paying yourself a salary out of your overhead, of course, that's going to be lower. You might just see about 10% left over. But you always, if you have no profit here, we need to start looking at what's going on. It's either your costs are too high, which is more than likely it, or your price is too low, and it's usually a combination of both. So we've gone through purpose. We've gone through the second one, and I totally forgot. And profit. Now we're going on to number 4. I'm getting so jazzed. 4 is process. Become obsessed. Actually, I'm going to quiz the audience. What were the first 3 that we talked about? And we're going to number 4. I'm going to wait. Michael, where's Michael still on here? He has good memory recall. Number 4, process. Become obsessed with outcomes, not just activity. Purpose, product. Oh my goodness. Profit, and I recommend them in this order. I love y'all so much. purpose. What is the purpose of your business first? What is the product you're selling? Then think about profit third. And fourth, we're going to think about our process. I love this. I wrote this down when I was a 21-year-old little genius. Am I thinking more about what I have to do or what I want to accomplish? This is huge. So when I worked in finance, I was told 10-3-1. Have any of you ever heard about the sales funnel? 10-3-1. 10 prospects equals 3 meetings and 1 client. So we had to reverse. I had to make 40 phone calls a day based on this 10-3-1 formula. Now, have any of you ever seen the movie The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith? Will Smith? Oh my gosh, my memory is blanking right now. I'm so Okay, have anybody seen The Pursuit of Happiness? Do you remember when he gets that call list? Think about that here. He's got to dial all those people because of these ratios, 10-3-1, 10-3-1, 10-3-1. To get 1 client, you got to call 10, right? Great movie. Do you remember the scene where he said, I have to go pick up my son. I don't have time to start at the bottom, so he starts at the top. Do you remember this moment? This is what I want you to think about with process. Are you thinking more about what you have to do or what you want to accomplish? I see a lot of us doing a lot of tasks because we think we're supposed to do them, because we were told 10-3-1, just like me. I was told this is how you do it. This is how it works. Follow the formula, right? But I never stopped to question the formula. Everybody's telling you to grow your Instagram feed and deal with the algorithms or grow your email list or get a custom website or whatever those good things are. But maybe we're putting the cart before the horse. What are we trying to accomplish? So let me ask you a question. Efficiency versus effectiveness. Efficiency versus effectiveness. Which is more important? And I'm going to give you a second to answer because there's a little bit of a delay. Efficiency or effectiveness? Which is more important? Go ahead and answer in that chat box. I'll wait for the delay a little bit. Efficiency or effectiveness? Which is more important? Okay, Sean says both. Effectiveness, lots of effectiveness. How many times can I say that fast? Both, okay? Lots of effectiveness, no efficiency. But how many of us are working on our efficiency and kind of forgetting and hoping that effectiveness will come later? Effectiveness means that you're doing the right things at the right times. I told my friend Ashlyn, we have to be professional sifters. A great business owner is the business owner who's able to look at all the good things and pick out the very best things. And that's what I was hoping for this webinar. There are a lot of really good things. Now, some of you are on here because you saw this. Some of you have seen this before if you've been on webinars, so don't answer. I'm going to just quickly prove my point with let's play a little matching game. So on the left, these are actual data points from my clients. Left is number of followers. Right is profit. How much profit did the person who had 638 followers make? So the person who had 638 followers, how much profit do you think that they made? I'm going to give you a second. Throw your guess in there. Throw it in there. So often we're focused on really good things that are distracting us from the things that are actually going to move our business forward in the long run faster. Okay, so I see a lot of 108s coming out. 108, 108, 40, 40, 100. It's like 40 or 108. Michael said 40. Toby said 83. Ashley said 83. No clue. Grace, that's exactly right. Pax said 25. Okay, I'm going to move fast. I'm going to keep going. The 638 made $83,960. I did a poll on Instagram, and this was the third most chosen answer, but everybody chose different answers. The reality is we don't know. Followers do not ever correlate with profit. Now, there are things that make that, but what can we think differently about social media? We don't want followers, we want fans. Fans are people that tell their friends and they do everything that you do. They're fans. We don't want shoppers like the grocery store and 42,000. We want buyers like Aldi. So we have to think about, are we thinking more about what we have to do or what we want to accomplish? Everything that you're doing as a business owner, what you want to do. So sadly, this slide, had some effects that I don't think are going to come through. But this is your should-do list. Post consistently on social media, start a blog, post to said blog, worry about SEO, and oh, you're not on Pinterest? Let's get you there. Passive income, is anybody doing that? Become an educator, I'm totally on it. And then a big block over the top that, oh, by the way, the dishes need to be washed, laundry isn't done, the dog needs to go to the vet, and you forgot to renew the car tags. This is definitely a friend of mine who just got a ticket for that. We're tired. We're tired. All of these good things. All of these are good things. My friend Vanessa's on here. She teaches Pinterest. She's amazing. But if you don't have the basics down, these things, you're putting the cart before the horse. When did something so simple get so complicated? Let's go back to remember the beginning where we just wanted to replace our former salary. So number 5, get in there quick, make the plan, work the plan. And Ashlyn hears me say this all the time. Make the plan, work the plan. Let's get back to the basics. Here it is. Screenshot this one if I want you to take this away. How much money do you need to contribute to your household this year after taxes? Do you know that number? If you do, yes. I know all my Blueprint people should know this number. Teach a whole class on it, Blueprint at Home. How much do you need to contribute? Once you know that number, we're going to reverse engineer your numbers. I'm going to show you a screenshot to know how much you have to make. So this is how much I need to put in my pocket. Then we add in overhead. Then we add in those job costs. Then we calculate the most important number you need to know in your business. That's your sales goal. How much money you need to sell. We look at your average sale per client. That tells me how many clients I need. And then we have our sales goal for the year. I'm going to give an example. This is my 1-year financial projection for 2015. You'll see here, consulting, I needed 10 of those would make up 60,000 of revenue for us. This was back my 2nd year in business. I would do those day sessions. I call it crash courses. I needed 10 of those at $1,800. See how I broke this down? I knew exactly the total revenue I needed was $131,000. And from that $131,000, I knew that Shanna, the business owner, was making net after taxes $5,000 a month plus $6,000 every single quarter. That's how I was making $100,000 in my pocket, including taxes. That's how I broke it down. If you don't know these numbers, friends, it is simple, but it is not easy. Because the cool thing is, once you know this plan, all the Blueprint people, give me a yes in that chat box if you have already worked out your financial forecast for the year using the Blueprint model. Once you have the formula, it's simple. But until then, you feel like you're spinning your wheels, trying to do all the things, but you don't know when you get to stop. Here's the deal. I see a lot of you out there gathering a lot of tools for your toolbox. You're taking courses, listening to podcasts, you're reading blog posts. I know you're doing everything you can to grow your business. Why? Because you care about your business. You want this to work. I know you do. You want this to work. But do you ever feel like you have all these tools, but you still don't know how to build anything? If that is you, will you just give me a yes in that chat box? You feel like you're reading all the things and listening to the podcast, but then you just say to yourself, like, where do I even start? Lauren, girl, yes, yes, yes. Mike says yes. Preach. So many yeses, I'm not going to be able to keep up. Julie, yes, yes, yes. That is why I just want to say, guys, so many of my friends are teaching you, they're educators, but if you have not made your first 100,000 of profit, then this is where you need to be. We have got to go back and build your blueprint. We're right now renovating our house. We have stuff everywhere. And it's amazing. If you don't have a plan, you just get stuck with a ton of stuff in a refrigerator in your living room. Guys, we need a plan. Does this sound familiar? You launch your business, invest in advertising, styled shoots, workshops, education. You're doing all the things, praying that one day you'll make money, but you feel like you're just spinning your wheels. This is what I saw for years and why I started my business. Feeling overworked. If this is you, just give me a yes. Overworked, underpaid, just feeling like you're working so hard, you're hustling, man, but not seeing any profit from that. You're misunderstanding your costs. You're like, I guess I just need to raise my price. And then emotions about every decision. Well, I think they need to book me, or You email over a proposal and you don't hear back, so you automatically give them a discount. Yes, emotions driving decisions because you're afraid and you're focused on the wrong numbers. I'm not saying Instagram is bad. Please hear me say that. But if you don't know what your profit margin is, you're focused on the wrong numbers. Getting fired up over here. Lack of clarity and direction. If you don't know your purpose, you're going to build a business that you don't like. Zig Ziglar says money isn't everything, but it ranks right up there with oxygen. There is a better way, and I'm so passionate about this. I will cry about it because I know that you need to make money or you're going to have to go back to your 9 to 5. You're going to have to put your babies in preschool. I know that you're feeling tired and overwhelmed. So let me just ask you, let's go back to the beginning. We're almost to the end here. Remember at the beginning I said, what is your number behind the highlight reel? There's a lot of 2s, lots of 3s, some 4s, a couple 5s. I saw 1 7. But do you know what a 10 would look like? If you do, just tell me in that chat. What does a 10 look like for you? Is that getting to work 2 days a week and being home with your newborn? Is that quitting your 9 to 5? Is that making a certain amount of money? Is that, I think it was Michael, or getting your wife to making enough so your wife can come home from work? What does a 10 look like? Abby says confidence. Jana says more time. Kat says to bring home 6 figures without debt. Ooh, I love that one. Justina says work from home and no student loans. Yes, Abby, stress-free. Rory, being my own boss. Freedom to work when and where I want from Haiti. Lacey, confidence and time. I love that. Guys, you can do that. The beauty of entrepreneurship is we have an opportunity like none other. We can bury ourselves in the ground and get burnt out and stressed out, or we can just be like, I need to get back to the basics. So picture this with me. Feeling that confident right there, number 1, in the mustard yellow, beautiful gold. Proud of what you're doing, having purpose. You feel in control of your finances. Freedom. Your business gives you freedom instead of change. Permission to grow or permission to slow down. Imagine those things. This is what happened for my friends, and I wanted to give you an array of them. This is my friend Erin Benzakeem. She owns Floret Flowers. She's a client of mine. She said, Shanna totally changed my life. And I wanted to show you her example because if you know her, you know she has like 1 million Instagram followers. She has a very large company. But knowing these numbers does not, having a huge business means that you need to know these numbers even more, because then you're just going to have a bigger mess. And that's exactly what Erin said. Shanna gets you to look at all the stuff you've been avoiding and shows you the stuff that's actually going to make a difference. I feel like your nanny 911. If I had known all this was possible in the beginning, I could have saved so many years of suffering and struggling at the end of the year, having nothing left over, nothing to show for all that hard work. You have totally changed my life. And I love that story because I think a lot of people look up to Erin and think, wow, if I could just get there. But bigger does not mean better unless you did it right and built your foundation well in the first place. I'm going to not read all the other ones, but this is my friend Britt Bass, completely altered the way I ran my business. When I met Britt, she had no time to paint. She's a painter because she was just trying to run her business. She was so overwhelmed, and we just simplified everything. My friend Tasia Trinae, you guys heard me talk about her, my very first client. The best money I've spent in my entire life. When I met Tasia, she was burnt out, stressed out. She was charging $20,000. You guys would be like, oh, most event planners were like, that's amazing. Now she's grown to over 100,000, and she knows what her numbers look like. She had no clue before. Noel is a really big blogger, Oh So Beautiful Paper, absolutely empowering. My friend Meg's photographer, she said 8 years doing this full time, and I'm finally giving myself an actual salary. 8 years of no salary. Guys, it doesn't have to be like that. And then my friend Hillary said I'm up 60% this whole year. Teacher, I did my homework. A few simple steps, guys, and all my Blueprint Model people will tell you this. It is simple. You probably thought some of these points I made were like, duh. That's because it's simple, but it's not easy. Work the plan. You have to make the plan. Clarity on that core motivator of success. A business model that meshes with your lifestyle goals. Guys, every business model can look 100% different. I can work with 30 different photographers, and they all have a different business model. So you just can't go learn from a photographer. You need to become a business owner first, and then figure out the photography business you want. streamlining process, cutting clutter, costs. Okay, we got 5 minutes. I'm going to go faster. If you're still with me, and there's a lot of you are, I want us to work together. I want you to make money because I believe you can. And I'm opening up my entire education suite. Think of this as your mini MBA. 3 courses, 6 masterclasses, 1 planner. I've never done this before. I'm doing it one time and last time. And I would love for you to get literally the business basics. And that sounds simple and silly, but it's the blueprint you need to go back to and start again. So let me quickly go through this. This is complete A to Z business blueprint, purposeful growth, knowing your version of success, increasing that profitability, because what do we say? Profit is king. Profit is what we need to focus on. Actually getting paid a steady salary to do what you love, and more time off to go enjoy a life outside your work. Everything you need and nothing else. This is literally the beginning. We're going to do some Q&A. For the first and last time ever, my entire suite of business education is available for enrollment at one time. I'm going to quickly go through everything you get. So the Blueprint Model is my signature program. If you're already a Blueprint student, Blueprint Model student, give me a yes in that chat box. Just share, tell everybody you're here. Just over 25 training videos, 60-page workbook, the exact financial documents I use, that spreadsheet I showed you, all of that's in the Blueprint Model. Templates, all the resource guide. Yes, I see you, Natalie, holler cat. 30-day money-back guarantee, lifetime access. We go through vision casting, that's setting that version of success. Working less, accomplish more. I'm going to tell you how to read your numbers and actually do less and make more. I know that sounds cliche, but I'm going to tell you how to do that through the 80-20 rule. Rating fans and brand advocates. This is about marketing and marketing from a non-marketer. Saving times with workflow. So this is on effectiveness and efficiency. Productivity hacks. You're going to love this one's about social media, all the boundaries I set personally. Money management. This is actually on budgeting. A whole section on pricing, managing that cash flow, how to understand month to month managing. No one is teaching these things. Some people are teaching their way of pricing. I'm going to give you a formula that's for every business that you ever want to have, because I guarantee you in 7 years you're going to start another one. And financial planning, which I showed you guys. The bonus suite is amazing. My friend Erin, which you guys saw, does a whole class on how to build an audience of raving fans, all in marketing. My friend Ashlyn, I think Ashlyn's in here. She does a whole copywriting course, what to say, when to say it. Another bonus from Christina, she does all legal stuff for creatives, 10 common contract mistakes and how to avoid them. And my sweet friend, Megan Gonzalez, who does all of my branding work for these launches, branding essentials. She's amazing. And then my complete financial toolkit. So somebody was asking, what do you use? This is it. You'll see how I track clients. My pricing calculator, you get my formula of pricing and you just plug it in. It's amazing. 15 of those. And that's just the Blueprint Model. You also get Blueprint at Home, which is personal finance. It's amazing. And my Blueprint Year. And a 2020, my Blueprint Year Planner. Now, this is if you get the entire suite at once. We're calling it the mini MBA. You get all of those things. You can also do them individually, and 6 master classes that deep dive into topics. The entire suite for over $700 off. So here's your options, guys. If you're still here with me, you can keep doing it alone. I'm telling you, this is a big investment. I know that it is, but it's the only investment you need. It really is, till you get to that 6-figure mark in the next 12 months. Now, after that, scale your business, learn about email marketing, learn about SEO, learn about Pinterest. But until you understand profit and pricing, all of that is putting the cart before the horse. And I say that wholeheartedly because I've never done any of that stuff right, and I have a very big business. So you can keep doing it yourself. I really think it's going to cost you more. You can go get a traditional MBA program, which costs between about $80,000 and $140,000 last time I checked. And this is from my friend Caitlin. She said, I learned more valuable information in 6 weeks from Shanna than I did in 4 years of college and a year and a half into my MBA. I think that's amazing. Or you can get the entire SS Education Suite. It is $2,850, but I have a little bonus for you. You can get, here are the three main options. The Blueprint Model is $19.97. The whole suite, this is the last time I'm offering this, $2,850. You get all the courses. It's 12 months of curriculum. You do it over that time frame. I'm going to be going through the Blueprint Model live, or just the collection, which doesn't include the little master classes. Now, for all of you I told you who stayed on until this point, and there's a lot of you still here, I'm going to send you, after this is over, give me a couple of hours, the Strategic Growth Blueprint to get you started. It's 30 pages of amazingness. And you get, from now until 11:59 tonight p.m., an additional 10% off the already discounted prices. So that takes the entire collection down almost $1,000. So you need to go put, Brianna's going to put a direct link up now for this fast action bonus. You're going to do fast action in the coupon code. It's going to get you an additional 10% off everything except the planner by itself. So if you do the mini MBA bundle, the whole collection right now, you're going to save $1,000. I know it's a big investment, but you still have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So get in there. This is the only time this is going to ever be available. Try it risk-free. It's no questions asked. There's no stipulations. It's 30 days. If you don't love it, then send it back to me. 30 days risk-free. And if you're like, hey, I need some help, I need some questions, click on that link that just popped up. I think Mariana put it up. There's a little chat box over there. You can chat directly with Mariana, or email us at support@shannaskidmore.com. We want to make sure this is a big investment. We want to make sure it's right for you. Thank you guys for staying on with me for a full hour. I know some of you have to pop off at this point, but I'm going to stay in and do some Q&A for about 10 minutes. And I just want to say thank you so much. I believe in you. And it has been such a privilege and an honor to do this work the last 7 years, because I love seeing men and women pursue their big dreams. It's something I'm so passionate about. And I understand that making an investment in this curriculum is a huge investment. We offer payment plans, and why I still say, please, please, please get in, is because no one else is teaching this. You can pay a lot of money to go learn from a business professional, but I teach it for creatives just like you, and I promise you, you're going to get it, and you're going to understand it, and you're going to know where your money is going. Y'all are so amazing. Kat, thank you. Michelle, thank you. You're the real deal. Thank you, Kelly. Let's jump into some Q&A. Thank you guys for spending this hour with me. I would love to see you in the mini MBA, the Blueprint Model, whatever courses you choose to get into, but the entire suite is on until now for the next 7 days only. And let me pull up here and see if I can get some Q&A. I'm going to actually try to get on my other computer. I think might be easier. And so if you do the fast action bonus, you are going to get the entire curriculum. The only thing is, if you buy the planner by itself, then by itself it's $97 by itself. Then that's the only product that doesn't get the additional 10% off, because it's already includes shipping. The $97 already includes shipping. So let me see if I can log in here to get your questions. Thanks for hanging tight with me, guys. Let me see. Give me just a second. It's always hard to have both computers up. I see some. Can you share more details about Blueprint at Home? Absolutely, Victoria. Great question. So I worked in personal finance for 5 years, and I found that no one is teaching entrepreneurs how to manage their personal finances. All personal finance courses that I know of that are super popular are assume that you have a salary and then they work down your budget. So I created Blueprint at Home is a personal money management system. It's 5 weeks plus 5 bonus videos. We go through taxes. We go through talking about money with your spouse. We talk about setting up money goals. I give you the exact strategy I use to set up all my bank accounts to make managing money easier. I teach you how to pay yourself and set your salary as an entrepreneur. And then I will show you how to manage that money month to month. It's amazing. If any of the students are in here who are already taking that, then I would love for you guys to hear. And do you guys see the offer? Did it already pop up? It looks like it did. Good, good, good. So that's Victoria. Let me know. It's a 30-day program. I call it a 30-day transformation. You do one homework assignment today to create your net worth statement, which I believe is the most important financial document in your personal finances. And again, it's geared towards entrepreneurs and how to manage money when you have fluctuating income. It's incredible. Ariana, great question. As you guys may have heard, 2019 is my last official year in business. I'm taking a year off to go innovate and explore and see what's next. I love how Laura Casey says you can have more than one dream in a lifetime. So I have loved doing this work. And so we are ending in November with our last Blueprint Summit, which is for our students. And that will be the last live event. So you can see the FAQs on what that means for everybody buying in now. So as of now, we are not doing any more live events after November. Justina, can you circle back to influencers? So yeah, so influencers, you have a product, and what is the product that you're selling? So that's swipe ups on different products that other people sell. So how you get paid is commission, is a fee off of what you influence. So what you need to do is just set goals for how much you want to sell each and every month, and then figure out what you're promoting in order to hit that. So it's just like me, I do launches of my products because I don't open them for enrollment all the time. And so I just look at, okay, when is this launch going to happen? It's almost like creating your sales calendar for the year. And Justina, that's what you need to do as an influencer. What are the exact products that you're selling? Do you have any records of how much you've made in commissions off of those before? I would be looking at how much do you make per purchaser based on wherever you're influencing. For example, so if you are I'm thinking of Primarily Pure, okay? So Primarily Pure is a natural deodorant. I think they do other skincare lines, right? So if you're an influencer for them, I want to see how much commission am I making on average. So if I got $1,000 commission check, how many people purchase for me to make that? So if 100 people purchase, then I'm making on average $100 per sale. So that's how I would set my goals there. So just look back if you have any past things that you've influenced on. You just have to think you have a product too. Your product is what you're promoting, and you get paid. Commission is how you get paid. So we all just sell a product or a service. Justina, let me know if that helped. Pamela had a great question. What is the benefit of taking the mini MBA if you've already completed my blueprint year? So if you've completed the mini MBA is right now with the fast action, it's one fast action, 10%, an additional 10% off. So you're saving almost $1,000. So to buy all those courses individually will more than likely, Pamela, cost more if this is the only product you have purchased. Because this is a $100 product. All of our other products, our classes are $129, but all of our courses are $500. The Blueprint at Home is $497. So Pamela, I would just recommend looking at the numbers. Does it save you just to go ahead and get the whole mini MBA bundle, or to buy the additional things you're looking for individually? You can also get the Blueprint Collection, which doesn't have all the master classes, but again, it still has my blueprint year. But you still get a 2020 planner, ships out in November, included in that bundle. So hopefully that helps there. Payment plan options for Kaya, I hope I'm saying that correctly, differ based on what you're purchasing. But for the mini MBA, so getting the entire suite, because it is a very big purchase, it's a 6-month payment plan. It's about $500 a month, which I know is still a big investment. But guys, I'm telling you, I really think you're going to pay that off by the end of the Blueprint model. So 6-month option for the mini MBA. The courses individually, the Blueprint model has a 3-month payment option, so it's still, I think, it's $750 for 3 months. So just go click on the link, go to the sales page, and you'll see all the different options there. Hope that helps, Kaya. We'd love to have you. Ariana, so Summit. For now, that would not be for incoming students. We do have a wait list. If that opens up, it is in November, and we would love to have new students come into that. That would be really amazing. Okay, Megan, how does advertising fit into cost? Does it count as cost per item or does it come out of overhead? Megan, that's a great question. I actually do both. So this is the very first time, if you guys found me through a Facebook ad, yay, because this is the first time I've ever done that. I was really not going, anyways, that was something we tried and it's been really fun to meet new people that way. So the Facebook ad cost I put as a part of this launch budget. But I have other advertising costs. I really don't advertise, honestly, that much that go in overhead, especially depending on what business you do. Like I put styled shoots, brand photo shoots. I do that under advertising, and that comes out of overhead costs. I am a big advocate of doing brand photo shoots to get imagery, especially if you're trying to do social media, because I don't want my husband to be an Instagram husband. I'm not a photographer and I don't think that's the best use of my time. So I do brand photo shoots. That's something I do in overhead, whereas the Facebook ads for this launch would go under cost of goods sold. So hopefully that helps you. Christy, if you're already enrolled in Blueprint Home, is there an option for the entire suite minus that? So Christy, that's a great question. Will you just send us a message over to support@shannasskidmore.com. We'll figure that out with you. It might still make sense for you since it's almost $1,000 off to get the bundle still, but I get that you don't want to make redundant purchases. So let me think through that and see what we can figure out. And so I would love to get you in all of the courses since this will be the last time. So I think I've hit on most of the questions that I see marked. It says 31, but I don't see all of those. Let me see, guys, if I can try to. Okay, Beck said, can you tell us about the marketing aspects included in the Blueprint model? I would love more insight into that. Yes. Okay, so I've always said that I'm bad at marketing. And I was like, Shanna, that is really not okay for you to say. Because when I launched this Blueprint model in 2016 was the first time I opened up my business from one-to-one to one-to-many. And when I did that, our very first launch, we did over 100,000 in sales, and I realized that was pretty unheard of. And so I started teaching about my approach to marketing, and I'm not a marketer, and I don't have a marketing background, and it really is from the perspective of understanding your client. So in the Blueprint model, the second chapter, I teach you how I learned to do this when I worked in finance through market surveys. So we're going to figure out where most of your inquiries are coming from. We're really going to analyze the data, as I am just known to do. I say numbers never lie. So we're going to look at the numbers, figure out where you could be spending the most time to get the most return on repeat customers. Because I think sometimes, so often, we try to do what worked for somebody else, but we need to look at what's working for your business. Whether it could be word of mouth if you live in a small town, it might be all online. If you have a big following or if you're really great at curating your feed, we're going to look at your personality, what you like, what you don't like. We're going to build out a marketing plan that's based on you. So that's in the Blueprint model. Then you also get the bonus chapters from Erin Benzakian about building an audience of raving fans. She's going to talk about how her audience exploded so quickly, what she did to do that. There's some great tips. I got those bonus ones because I don't want to teach something I'm not an expert in. And so she talks about that. Ashlyn is a conversion copywriter, so she talks about marketing from the perspective of your website. It's really great. And then if you get the MBA bundle, I actually have a whole class. It's called A Different Approach to Marketing. And it's about my year and a half of doing social media free and what I learned about marketing, generating sales. I doubled my revenue that year that I went off social media and how I did that. So there's really it's that 5 classes, basically, mini classes, whole videos all about marketing in a finance course. So Beck, hope that answers that question. Taylor, how much did entrepreneurs, okay, I have 3 more questions. I'm going to log off because we've got 15 minutes of Q&A. I want to answer all your questions, but I want to be sensitive to your time as well. If you pop over through that link, then you're going to see, we'll be on the chat box, just chatting it up with you guys all afternoon. So we want to get those questions answered because this is a big investment, and I really, really want the people who need it to be in it because I want to serve you and love on you guys and teach you. This is my last round of the Blueprint model, and I'll be teaching live through the next 12 weeks. And I really, really, really would love to do that with you guys. Okay, Taylor, how much should entrepreneurs budget for taxes, healthcare, etc.? Is there an ideal percentage? Yes. So Taylor, I save 30% of every dollar I make or that the company sees as profit, so that net income number. I save 30% of that into a separate money market account for taxes. I pay quarterly estimates. Oh, by the way, there's a whole tax class in the mini MBA bundle, or it's just a masterclass called Get Tax Day Ready. We talk all about saving for taxes, how to find a CPA, what you should be asking your CPA, all those good things, how to not be intimidated by the CPA. So I say 30%. For most people, that's enough. Taxes all depend on how much household income you have, where you live, what your jobs are, what your family looks like. So it's definitely a rule of thumb. Healthcare, again, that depends on how you're licensed as a business. We pay that personally. We do not pay that through the business. Depends on how you're licensed. Ask your CPA or attorney about that one. Reed, can you share more details about the blueprint model for artists? So the blueprint model for artists is with my friend Britt Bass. It's a bundle course. So it's the original blueprint model, the 12-week program. And then I partnered with Britt to create 10 additional videos. So it's basically, we take the blueprint model and deep dive into how Britt individually apply that to her business. So say in the blueprint model, like chapter 2, we talk about identifying your ideal client. Britt then goes through in detail how she did that. So it's almost like a big case study of Britt's business based on the concepts found in the blueprint model. So it's 2 courses in one. It's amazing, and I love Britt. Angel, last question, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. How can you just do the blueprint model and still have the payment plan? Angel, great question. So if you pop on over to that page, the offer page, you're going to scroll down to the bottom. You're going to see a space that says bundle and save. And it's going to take you to a slide that looks section that looks just like this. You'll see here on the left-hand side, it says the blueprint model. So there's 2 ways. You can click buy now, and it'll take you to the single payment, and there's a link to the payment plan. Or in little letters under it, you can see their payment plan available. Click on that, and it'll take you directly to the payment plan option. It's not super easy because we have so many options. That would have been a billion things to put on the page, but you'll find the link right there on the checkout page of the single payment plan, or right here on the bottom. So guys, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope that you walked away with one thing that you can implement in your business this week. If you don't yet know what the purpose is of your business, what you define as success, I highly recommend starting there. Where do you want to be? What matters to you? And how can you uniquely make a business model that works for that? If you have additional questions, we're going to be over on the chat box most of the afternoon. We can answer those. You can email us directly at support@shannaskidmore.com. Thank you guys so much. It has been an honor to serve you, and I hope to see you in the SS Education Suite. Y'all have a really great day.